Hi guys, how are you? I hope you guys are amazing, super fine and you are enjoying your articleship. So all those students who are appearing for CA final soon and wherein your set A, B, C, D is applicable to you, all the four sets. Guys, today I am starting with set C and in that we are doing forensic accounting. So in set C you have lot of options to select from. I hope you have understood the conditions of the ICA that before appearing for CA final you need to clear set C. You need to clear set C. I mean set A, B, C, D. A talks about your law, B talks about your costing, that's SEMPE, and set C may you have lot of options. So set C may you have in totality 10 options. You can select any of it and you have to just clear one paper. So I will be teaching you forensic accounting. I'll be teaching you paper number 7, forensic accounting. So how and why did I selected this paper? Number one, forensic accounts are theoretical part, plus it is exactly same. I mean the content of this, it is similarly there in your CA final regular paper number 3 audit paper. So anyways you have to study for audit. Guys, anyways you have to study for audit, right? So paper number 7, it is in set C. You can select any one out of those 10. I being a teacher, I would say you will select 7 because it is there in audit also. Plus we have lot of examples to connect with. In practical life we have lot of examples to connect with. Okay. So guys, hi, I'm Abhishek Bansal and I take final call audit and paper number set A, set C and set D. A I take law, set C may I am recording right now is forensic accounting, paper number 7, and set D may I'll be recording entrepreneurship. Okay, entrepreneurship, because it's mandatory condition to clear A, B, C, D. We sell all the 4 courses A, B, C, D. A is law, B is SEMP, set C is basically forensic and set D is basically your or entrepreneurship. You can select any of the paper. Okay, so I am a chartered accountant by profession. I am also a company secretary. I have also done my MBA, and very important, I am a BCom graduate also. I have done my graduation from HR College, Mumbai. People who are from Mumbai, they would be knowing it. It's one of the top college in Mumbai, and yeah, I am currently enrolled for a PhD also. My PhD is going. And very important, I am a certified forensic accountant. So that's the reason I've selected this paper, because I have a lot of case studies to share with you guys so that you can relate with the topic. A lot of live examples, what we have done, what is going on in the industry, and it's a very emerging field right now. As a chartered accountant, you can become a certified forensic accountant. So what is the course, how you have to appear, only chartered accountants can do it, how you will do it, I will teach you all those. Okay. So if you see the syllabus, it's very interesting, very easy. I'll be teaching in 100% English, especially for South students. Any people from North India, you can also buy the class. To buy the class, you'll have below, you can see the line www.letslearnindia.in. You can visit the website or you can call on the number which is flashing down on 844-844-8919 or 9987045565. You can call either of the numbers and connect with the team. So we'll have 10 chapters, there are total 10 chapters, very small chapters. 20-30 page, every chapter is there. Only one chapter is little lengthy, which is around 60-70 pages. Rest everything is very simple. Here the approach of CA final audit, that's paper number 3 regular, and paper number 7, so for set C I have selected set C, paper number 7, the approach will be different. There in paper number 3 you have to understand, plus you have to mug up, plus you have to write also. It's a theory paper, right? Here in paper number 7 you just have to understand. Acha sir, this means this, okay, this means this is this, okay, that's it. You don't have to mug up as such anything, you don't have to write anything, because it is it's basically your MCQ based exam. So here understanding plays a very crucial role. There in paper number 3 in audit, understanding, mugging up, writing and remembrance. You need to remember it also, right? Then only you will be able to write. So that plays a very crucial role there. So here it is basically just need to understand, okay. So we'll be doing from the module, okay. Plus towards the end of the chapter we'll be making very short, like 1 page or 2 page, just to remember the key points. Like when you're revising before going for the paper, you remember it, okay. Okay. So this is about the syllabus. Very interesting, very easy. So I've downloaded the module and let's discuss what exactly is there in the content, what it is, okay. You also please download the module in case if you have the PDF, it's good, you open it. Or you can call for your hard copy of the material also. Download the hard copy of the material. I mean, order for the hard copy of the material, so that it becomes easy for you to remember it. Okay. Plus, in case if you are going office and you don't want to buy the book, latest book right now, remove the printout from the office only, because you will be doing some time pass in the office, correct? So you download it from there and take the printout from the office only, or maybe client place you can take. Now, so today being the first class, we will just discuss about the topic, the content, what exactly is, how is the approach, what to remember, how to remember, all those things. The actual content we will start later on, okay? Now see, so it's paper number 7, forensic accounting, set C, 100 marks, okay? Now if you see the content, the first chapter is basically background and overview, what exactly it is. Then we have introduction and basic concept. They will teach you about fraud, what is forensics, what is forensic accounting, how it is different from investigation, okay? Then nature and types of fraud is your third chapter. Then chapter number 4 talks about financial statement frauds like balance sheet, P&L, cash flow. There's a fraud. Then when there's a fraud, you will start your forensic investigation, like forensics you will do. Then once forensics is done, you will do fraud detection. Then something is about digital forensics, like basically email, WhatsApp chat, call logs, all those things. Okay, you are using AI to detect fraud. Then interviewing skills. You must have seen us in Hindi in Sony channel. There was a serial called as CID. I think it's in South also it comes, right? CID. Daya, kuch to gadbad hai. Daya, Daya. Okay, CID. So you must have seen Salunke was there, ACP Pradyuman was there. So all those you will do here in real. Okay, there it was about a crime. Murder has happened, right? Generally it was murder. Here we'll be talking about fraud. Which fraud, guys? Financial fraud. Which fraud? Basically here we'll be talking about financial frauds. Okay. Then writing of when there's a fraud, you'll prepare a report. Okay, that's called as investigation report. That's chapter number 9. And chapter number 10 is fraud prevention. See, always remember, you can't reduce the fraud to 0. Like guys, you can never make the fraud to 0. However, you can reduce it to an acceptable level. Okay. So this is basically your syllabus. So then they have given the index. So if you see the number of pages here, chapter number 1, 25 pages. Chapter number 2, 31 pages. Chapter number 3 is a little lengthy, it's 66 pages. Chapter number 4 is 37 pages. Chapter number 5 is 34 sides. Then here it is 27. Chapter number 7, 19 pages only. Chapter number 8, 18 sides. Chapter number 9 is basically your again 19 sides. And chapter number 10, 14 sides. Okay. The only chapter is that is chapter number 3, that is basically nature of fraud. This is the only lengthy chapter. Rest everything like 20-30 pages only. Out of the 20-30, we will be cancelling lot. If people you have studied inter law through me or inter audit through me, you know. Katapa, ratapa. Only important points you have to remember. Reason being it's an MCQ based paper, you need to have an understanding of it. Okay. So this is your index. Okay. So here these were the initial pages. Now, so we today start with chapter number 1. Chapter number 1 is basically what? Background and overview. Here I will be discussing about the fraud, how fraud happened, why this syllabus came, why this concept basically came, why there was an evaluation of forensic accountant, why forensic accounting as a profession it came and it became a regular profession where people can make money out of it, how and why. Okay, so just relax. Okay, you need to understand the stories, listen to the stories today because we will not be writing right now today. We'll be writing when the chapter is over. All the keywords, important point will be noting on a paper. So it becomes very easy before you go for your exam. Okay, because I have a very bad habit of writing the notes, you know it in the class also, in regular inter law, in inter audit, or if you have taken final audit through me, you know that we write actual notes in the class. So we'll be writing notes for this subject also. Okay, now forensics. So what exactly is forensics? Okay, now understand the story. Now when we talk about CID, okay, CID, the serial. Murder has happened, police is informed and CID is also informed. Now what a CID does? CID finds out the way it has happened, I mean the murder was conducted, and they will try to find out the murderer who committed the crime, right? That was the main plot of the serial. Then there was ACP Salunke. I don't know what you call it and what was the character name in Tamil or in maybe Telugu, in Kannada. Okay, but in North, in Hindi, the guy was ACP Salunke. Salunke, Dr. Salunke. So Dr. Salunke was a forensic doctor. When the body used to come, he used to give details that the murder was happened via knife or maybe via poison or maybe by some rope. He used to give the cause of the murder. Okay, in lot of episodes you must have seen, they would be getting one hair, and with that they will be finding out the murderer. Or maybe on the glass there will be a lipstick mark. They will find out which brand ka lipstick it was, who has drank water or alcohol from this glass, correct? You must have seen all this. Okay, so same way here, forensics, that was basically they are doing forensics. They were trying to find out the murderer. Here in our syllabus, we are not trying to find out the murderer, guys. We are not trying to find out the murderer. We are trying to find out what? We are trying to find out the fraud perpetrator. Who did the fraud? How he conducted the fraud? We are trying to find out here. Understood? Now, I'll give you a very simple case study when I was doing this course of ICA, forensic accounting course. Okay, so one teacher came and he told us about a fraud. Okay, first let me discuss this, what exactly this fraud was. Now, so in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, in Mumbai where I stay, okay, there is a place, okay, and there a fraud was happening. What was a fraud? It is called as call center fraud. Now first understand this, okay. So what was the fraud happening here? So there was a building, okay, which was an under construction building. There the fraud perpetrator, the guy was named as Shaggy. It's a real story. I will show it on Google also. Shaggy. He had taken 4 or 5 floors of that under constructed building. On the top floor he was sitting. It was his office. Okay. Employees were sitting, let us assume, on this floor. Here it was a training room. Here it was an accounting room. Okay. Now, so people, the students who will clear 11th standard, 12th standard, okay, in Bombay we have colleges in 11th and 12th. So college is in the morning and then people are free in the afternoon. So generally people join call center for an extra income, 15-20 rands they will get it. Okay. Now the person will join here. They will be giving the company, whatever company was their call center company, they were giving the training. The training to talk in US accent. The employees were making a call to US citizens. They were making call to US citizen, stating that they are from the US Federal Department. Guys, Federal Department basically means like US ka tax. US ka tax department. In India, like we have income tax, there we say federal state law. Okay, Federal Department. And to those honest citizens of US, employees were saying that, sir, we are calling from Federal Department. Okay, and there is a short payment of your tax and you are supposed to deposit the tax in few days. Now imagine if authority is calling some US citizen. So generally there in foreign countries people are scared of the police, the government, the department. People are scared as compared to India. In India, if somebody will call, okay, like this, okay, we are calling from tax department. In general, in Hindi we say, तेरी माँ का phone रख, तू जानता नहीं मेरा बाप कौन है. In English I'll convert. It's like you'll say, now you do not know my father, shut the phone, okay, don't scare me like this. So people abuse, like in India you know all this, but in US people are very much scared. Okay, so this employee used to give a first call to them that we are calling from the tax department and there is a shortfall of maybe $25,000, $10,000 of your tax. So you are required to pay the tax and we will give you another call to pay the tax. So those citizens were very honest, very sincere, so they used to get scared. In the next call, the second call, the next level employee, okay, the first level employee will make a call. Now we know that they have been set up under our trap. Number 2 call would be made by senior employee. He will say, so we are calling from Federal Department and you are supposed to pay the tax. The tax will not be paid via wire transfer, maybe bank transfer. It will not be paid via credit card or a debit card or maybe net banking. No. You have to get gift cards. You have to get what? Gift cards. Like for example, today in, Shopper Stop is there. Okay. Metro is there, D-Mart is there. You get gift cards, right? Gift cards. which carries a value like money. So for there you have to get, let us assume hypothetically, Walmart ka gift cards, okay, of maybe like $5,000 ka you have to get 10. Imagine the $50,000 ka payment you were supposed to make. So get $5,000 ka 10 gift cards and share the gift card ka number. We will call you again. Third call would be made by some senior employee. What he will do? The person will get scared. He will go and buy to the Walmart that those gift cards, and $5,000 ka 10 gift card ka number they will take. So imagine it was a 16-digit number. That number would be shared to the employee here in India, in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, correct? This employee was maintaining an Excel, okay? So serial number 1, let us assume that digit was, the gift card number was 123. Number 2 was, let us assume, 456. Number 3 was, let us assume, 789. Like this he will make a list. Now what he will do? This list would be shared with their associate in US, who would be sitting in US. What he will do? He will go to Walmart and sell this gift card at a discounted rate. Let us assume 10% discount. So Walmart first sold to that US citizen. US citizen gave that serial number to that India ka employee. India ka employee gave it to his partner in US. That guy will go to Walmart and sell this gift card, or maybe in grey market he can sell it at 10% discount. So $50,000 ka, what he will do? He will get, let us assume, $45,000 in cash. Now, imagine if you are a US citizen and you have given this card to somebody, there is no trail of money. There is no wire transfer, there is no net banking, there is no OTP given, nothing. It was a gift card got redeemed or gift card got discounted. These people was collecting $45,000 in cash and they were sending it via Hawala. Hawala basically money laundering. So they were sending cash back to India. And trust me, they have made huge money, huge money. So how I know this case so well? Because it happened near to my house only. Hey, I was not involved. I did not. The teacher who taught us, forensics, okay, he told us this story. So out of curiosity, somebody asked, sir, how you came to know, like the teacher, the forensic accountant, how you came to know that this was happening it? So what happened? One call was made by mistakenly to a NRI. NRI basically means non-resident Indian. Now we Indians, okay, so imagine the employee was calling and now we have that Indian taste. So we have a habit of asking lot of questions. You're calling from where? So the employee who was here in India, he fumbled. Like generally when we talk in English, like my English is also very bad, okay, you know it, okay. But so yeah. So you fumble at times, right? When I talk continuously in English, so generally people fumble as compared to like US people, their English is very much fluent. Or people who have come from like ICS boards, okay, or from South Bombay, South Delhi, South Bangalore, okay, South Hyderabad, South Chennai, so their English is very like much fluent, like, okay. But like our people from state board, yeah. So we fumble. So same way the employee fumbled. The person who was there in US, he asked a lot of questions to the employer and he fumbled and he slammed the phone. So he got suspicious. The NRI got suspicious. He made a police complaint. Police came to their house. They set it up trap because he was supposed to call back again for the payment of tax. So they made a setup. They recorded the call. When they recorded the call, it was not made via normal phone number. The call, guys, was not made via normal phone number. It was made via VoIP. I hope you understand what's VoIP. No? Voice over Internet Protocol. Voice over Internet Protocol. VoIP. Via VoIP it was made. That means via Internet the call was made. That means there is no track of that call number. Like when we do WhatsApp calling. So generally today's time WhatsApp shares a number because if you see that it's an end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption means that government of India has an access of your call logs. Okay. Like if you do Telegram calling or a Google Meet calling, whatever conversation you are having, no government, no authority can record it because it is not encrypted. So VoIP may they make a call when their call is not recorded. So they got only one thing, the server of the call. So the server was blinking from India, Maharashtra, Mumbai, Thane. Thane, there's a place called as Dahisar. There. So they made a call, they informed the government of India informed to Maharashtra police informed to Mumbai, Thane police, this region comes in Thane, okay, there's a place called in Mumbai, and they set up they took around 300 400 policemen to this premises, and they raided this premises. When they raided this premises, the guy Shaggy, so he too went, okay, he too went, but his real name was Sagar, yeah, the nickname was Shaggy. The employees were not knowing that they were doing a fraud. They were given a script. They used to mug up that script, and that script was open in the front of the screen. So whenever they were calling, and if somebody asked a question, that question ka probable answer was written here. They was used to just say in that US ka accent. Till the time you don't develop that accent, you will not be allowed to make a call. They were paid around 20-25,000. So the sir who came to us, he showed that script. Like what was the script? When this question will be asked, you need to answer this. When this question will be asked, then you need to answer this. So somebody asked, how you detected this fraud? So what happened when this Excel is made? The Excel is saved in the PC. If you delete it also, it is not deleted. It is there in recycle bin. Even if you do shift plus delete, it is not the recycle bin. Still, it is stored in the laptop. It is stored in the hard drive. It can be traced. So whatever files you delete, like today, if you delete WhatsApp, some chats also, it is there with Government of India. It can be recovered. If you delete some photos also, it is still there on the Google somewhere on the cloud. It can be retrieved. But there's a procedure. Okay, you require, like if you want somebody a phone call to be traced, it's a procedure. You require approval from Government of India. Then only you can get it. So here government was involved. So they took the hard drives. They removed the recording. Okay, one recording, though it was confidential. On a request, he made us listen one recording. He showed like how the hard drives they have collected, and they did the forensics of that. They traced the call logs, emails, and everything was traced, and there it was, fraud was detected. So this is the basic job of forensic accountant. So to get into deep and find out the trail, how the fraud is happening. Okay, so I'll show you on Google. So this was a news. After 14 months, the Thane call center scam mastermind Shaggy was granted the bail. That was the guy who did the fraud. So see, Sagar Thakkar alias Shaggy, the 24-year-old mastermind behind the call center scam, duped more than 6,500 people in US. Millions of dollars was granted bail after 14 months by Thane session. Okay, on October 4, more than 75 people, including floor managers, accountant, even investor, were arrested in a Thakkar's call center on Mira Road in a raid that included 200 personnel from Thane crime. I don't know, 200 personnel, like 200, 300 people went to arrest them in Thane and the Thane Rural Police. It was found that Thakkar's employees impersonated officials belonging to US Internal Revenue Service, like tax department and Department of Treasury, and threatened American loan defaulters with a tax fraud or tax evasion if they did not pay up. In the process, they extorted millions of dollars. Thakkar had roped in his childhood friend to form a network of floor managers who run the multi-million-dollar call across cities, police sources said. He also hired information technology expert who could operate phone lines. Employees either bought or used some sort of software to obtain contact details from white pages and online telephone directories similar to yellow pages. According to the police, the accused extorted an Indian equivalent to over 500 crore rupees from 6,500 Americans. Two other suspects, Tapesh Gupta and Thakkar's sister Reema, are still at large. They were absconding. One of the Thakkar relatives requesting anonymity said that while in prison, he spent his time learning law and language such as Marathi and Hindi. He is now fluent in Hindi. We used to pray for him in our home. But earlier, we were shocked to know that even though the police did not find sufficient evidence against him, his bail application was rejected. He cooperated with their investigation and had even come to Gujarat with them. So this was a fraud. Understood? So this is basically the job of the forensic accountant. So all this fraud we will be learning, and like how you detect it, we'll be learning in this syllabus. Okay, understood the background? So please take a pen or a pencil in case if you have a hard copy of the book. In case if it is not there, please before watching the lecture, remove the printout of the PDF from the office. We need to mark something because it's an MCQ based exam. Okay. Let's start. The term forensics originates from the word Latin word forensis. Please underline this, which translated literally means of or before the forum. Cut up, cancel. Cancel. Forensic accountant has now emerged as a highly regarded domain of the accounting profession, and someone would say forensic profession in its own right. That means it has gained a lot of importance right now. Okay, so we have to mark this. Then, so here your main job is how it happened and why it happened. Okay, so it's written here in this para. With all the advancement in science and technologies, investigation become a lot more methodical and rigorous, allowing for discovery of evidence which is more reliable and acceptable. The gathering of evidence in this manner has helped to support the discovery of truth and establish, underline this, what actually happened. Nevertheless, there is a need to understand why the actions took place, and so the necessity to support the criminal acts which motivates also become important. What happened and why it happened? What happened and why it happened? Okay, then cut up. So please mark from here till here with the advancement till important. Please mark. Done. Now, top cut up. Now, some of the noteworthy frauds which have already happened in India. Enron ka fraud was there. US dollar 74 billion ka loss. Billion dollar. 74 billion loss. Jobs of 1,000 employees. Huge impact on customers, vendors and employees. WorldCom ka fraud happened again. 180 billion ka loss. So US ka recession started in this only, if you know it. I think you were not born also at that time. Lehman Brothers were in the bank. Got bankrupt. Lehman Brothers caused subprime mortgage meltdown, 16 billion, largest bankruptcy filing. Then Bernie Madoff, largest Ponzi scheme in the history, 64.8 billion in losses. In India, Satyam ka fraud was there, biggest accounting fraud in India, $1.5 billion inflated revenues and assets. Okay. So they have given two examples. Let's read that. Enron ka they have given and WorldCom ka they have given. Okay. So Enron. So Enron was a company in US. Okay. They were doing, it's an energy utility company based in Houston, I think, Houston, Texas, US. Okay. Now they were doing different kinds of business also. So they started generating energy, and whatever money was they were getting from energy, they were diverting it to a different company like Shell company, bogus company. And then the CEO, I think, CEO of the company was misutilizing the funds. This was detected by the vice president, and he informed to the CEO that something is wrong is happening, but the CEO did not pay heed. And eventually what happened, the company, they were making huge derivative loss. Derivative loss basically means they were doing a lot of futures and options, derivative contract, futures and options. They were using the money for derivative contract, and they started doing the trading loss. And when the loss went very high, the money was rotating, but eventually it will get stopped, and eventually the company went into liquidation. And like today we have big four: EY, KPMG, Deloitte and PwC. There were big five. There was one more firm called as Arthur Andersen. The auditors were banned forever. Arthur Andersen. Now there is no firm called as Arthur Andersen, but yeah, there was big five previously. So it says Enron was an energy utility company based in Texas, which ventured into other business like energy trading. It also had operations in India in the form of investment in Dabhol Power Company. This was a company, Dabhol Power Company, a natural gas fired power plant generating so and so power. The company grew in a rapid manner from so and so when it reported revenue of 13 billion to over 100 billion dollar. Wow. From 96 to 2000, $13 billion to $100 billion. It became the 7th largest company in US. It also became a very popular company in the stock exchange as the share price peaked up to $90 per share. $90 per share. Wow. Enron found to be indulging in major accounting fraud, which came to in light in 2001. And it became the most famous company which perpetrated one of the largest fraud in the history, okay, of the accounting practices. Now, what was the fraud? See. So Enron traded in energy derivatives market where it made huge trading loss. So there was a lot of losses. However, by using SPV, special purpose vehicle, they created separate different entities, bogus companies. Through various accounting jugglery, it inflated the revenues through M2M accounting, hid its huge losses and massive debt through SPVs. So there were losses, okay, there were a lot of debt also, but their accounts is what? Double entry. They passed double entries and they hid their loss, okay. The executive management used fraudulent means by fabricating financial record to fool the public, the business partners and employees. The COO oversaw the building of its vast trading operation using complex financial instrument. The CFO was responsible for financial accounting of this complex transaction and manipulated the accounts to avoid visibility to this new age risk being assumed by the company. At the height of operation, such trades were over $2.5 billion per day they were doing it and it was all loss. However, Enron misdeeds were finally exposed in 2001 as one of the VP level officials suspected this unethical dealings. So the VP saw this and he blew the whistle by writing it to the CEO and things started to unravel from there. And from mid 2001, it reported the losses by which the early warning signs of fraud. And by November 1, the credit rating reduced Enron rating to junk from, and by December 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy with $60 billion in assets, which at the time was one of the largest bankruptcies. Post bankruptcy, the Arthur Anderson, the auditors of Enron were dismissed as they were being accounting of shredding and destroying important documents and evidence. They were indicated by US Department for Obstruction of Justice. So they were also banned forever. So this was the fraud of Enron. Okay. So we need to remember all this because they may test us in MCQ. So towards the end we'll be writing the notes. Enron fraud of $74 billion and Arthur Anderson was banned. Okay. Then they have given, I think, WorldCom call also. Yeah, WorldCom call also. Here also Arthur Anderson was involved. So there was a female, the internal auditor of this company. So here the hint is internal auditor. So they can ask us who was in, who detected the fraud of WorldCom. Okay. So Cynthia Cooper, please underline this, Cynthia Cooper, whose careful detective work as an internal auditor at WorldCom exposed some of the accounting irregularities apparently intended to deceive the investors. Now see, so Cynthia, please underline this. Cynthia and her colleagues grew suspicious number of peculiar financial transactions and went outside their assigned responsibility to investigate. What they was found as clever manipulation intended to bury almost how much amount? $4 billion in mislocated expenses and phony accounting entries, bogus accounting entries. Now, so in Mississippi, WorldCom headquarters was located. Cooper was an internal auditor. She worked in secret, often late at night to avoid suspicions. The thing that first arose her curiosity came in was where a senior line manager complained to her that her boss CFO has usurped 4 million reserve account he had set aside as a hedge against anticipated revenue losses. That means he used this money which was kept as a reserve. That didn't seem kosher. So Cooper inquired of WorldCom accounting firm Arthur Anderson. So she inquired with Arthur Anderson. That they detected that something has happened here. They brushed her off. They said, hey, forget it, it is not your job. You are internal auditor, shut the mouth up. Cooper decided to press the matter with the board audit committee. They put her in direct conflict with her boss, who ultimately backed down. The next day, he warned her to stay out of such matters because obviously there's a fraud happening. But undeterred and unemboldened by the knowledge that Anderson had been discredited by Enron case because there they were doing it. SEC was investing. WorldCom Cynthia decided to continue the investigation. Along with the way she learned that WorldCom financial analyst who was fired a year earlier, failing to go with accounting chicanery. Okay, that means somebody was doing accounting. He also found out some fraud. He was removed from that job. Okay, the financial analyst. Then she and her team uncovered 2 billion accounting for capital expenditure that has never been authorized. It appeared that the company was attempting to represent operating costs as capital expenditure to make the company look more profitable. So whatever expenses they were incurring, so it was coming as loss, but investor ko you need to keep happy, so they were passing as capital expenditure ka entry. To gather further evidence, Cynthia team began unauthorized search through WorldCom computers accounting system. What they found that the fraud was being committed. Then, when Suvillian heard of the ongoing audit, he asked the Cooper to delay her work until third quarter. She bravely declined. She went to the board committee and in June, Scott, Suvillian and 2 others were terminated. What was Cooper discovered was the largest accounting fraud in US history. So your internal auditor detected the fraud in WorldCom. So Enron was the first fraud, the second fraud was WorldCom, and then eventually Arthur Ness was banned forever. Then please cancel this. Please cancel this. Some of the reason, so this can be a question. Some of the reasons considered to be reason for this fraud are what? Sir, inadequate oversight by the board and TCWG. See, if you see today's time, when you are doing articleship, you must be seeing that there's an audit committee, there's a board of directors who are responsible because of all this fraud. See, this fraud happened in 2001, 2000, okay, at that time. We are in 25 right now. So that 25 years may government has also learned in India also, in US also, that we need to put some responsibility. So the responsibility is governed by whom? By the people of TCWG, by board audit committee people. Abuse of power and authority by promoters and top management. See, the top management and promoter know how to do it. So they were abusing the authority. Corruptions and collusion between the top management and the bankers. So like Vijay Mallya, SBI, okay, then Nirav Modi, PNB ka fraud was there. Harsha Mehta ka scam also you must have studied, right? So where the bankers are also involved. Short-term performance pressure from investing public, because the people who have invested in a company, they need every quarter में profit. If there's a no profit, they will try to withdraw. When they withdraw, that means they will sell the share. When they sell the share, the price will fall eventually, right? So short-term performance pressure, failure on part of the auditors and regulator to identify and report those problems. Right now, though they have overcome it, but yeah, these were the reasons. So the government and regulators have taken many steps to try and prevent the repetition of these incidents. So please mark from here till here incidents. So this could be an exam question in MCQ. Cancel this. Cancel this. See, there are certain content on which there will be no question. They are just giving the knowledge. So it's waste to study this much. Now see. So all this you will know only when you attend the class. Like what to study, how much to study, how much to mark, how much to revise. So all this will be doing it in the class itself. Okay. And towards the end we'll be making the notes. Very important points we will write as a pointer so that you, when you are revising, it becomes very easy. With all these frauds increasing at an alarming rate, the need for professional experts to help the law enforcement agencies to solve these cases has also grown at an exponential rate. Now, professionals are being called upon by just not the law enforcement agency but also by the lender, like bankers also called, investors, and in some cases the top management of the companies also. Professionals with the hands-on knowledge and expertise in investing in financial crimes using forensic techniques are now in great demand. In India, please underline this, the accounting profession led by ICI has played a pioneer role in this regard. Most of the professionals operating in this domain are qualified and practicing chartered accountants. They have made a name for themselves in providing services. They have made a name. Thank you everybody. Thank you. In providing services for gathering evidence for such white collar crimes. Okay, underline white collar crimes. White collar means people who wear coats and do the crime. It's called white collar crime. ICA has been quite active in improving the quality of work undertaken by this professional through the issuance of set of what? FICE. What are FICE? Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standard. What are FICE? Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standard. Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standard. FICE. Like we have standards on auditing, we have accounting standards, we have Indian accounting standards, we have standards on assurance engagement, we have forensic accounting and investigation. It is there in our syllabus. Now, read this. It is only for your reference. Read this. Understood? Now, the main reason for increasing the importance of FA professional, like forensic accounting professional, is that they come with much more than the basic accounting and finance skills. The FA professional is a highly skilled, multi-dimensional professional with expertise in many different areas. just not basic accounting and finance. Law and regulation play a major role in most of this assignment, due to which legal knowledge and expertise become critical. Okay. So basically, it's not only the agencies they will appoint forensic accountant. Like we can be appointed by bankers also. If bank comes to know that somebody is doing a fraud with them, so they will appoint a forensic professional. Okay. If a top management sees that there's a fraud happening in the company, somebody is doing, they want somebody to detect it, so they will appoint forensic accountant. So forensic accountant can be appointed by anybody, insurance companies, lawyers, income tax department, GST department, everybody can appoint. Okay. The other aspect that is now well recognized is that there are certain industries like banking, finance and real estate sectors which are more prone to financial and accounting frauds. This is because the banks, especially public sector banks in India, have found to be soft target by some highly influential and somewhat corrupt people. Okay, so that I told you, so everybody can appoint. Understood? Now, so whatever we have marked, what will you do? You'll just glance it once, whatever we have marked. In case you have the book, it's very good. In case if you do not have the book, you can look up to the screen. Okay, whatever we have marked, you have just have to read so that you understand and grasp the same thing. Okay, I'll give you 5 to 7 minutes to read. So I'm sitting here only, I'm switching off my video, I'm sitting here only, I'll be scrolling the screen slowly for whatever pointers I have marked. Okay. Now, legal and regulatory ramifications, like what are the legal and regulatory ramifications? Okay, that means rules basically. Cancel this. Now, see, whatever you go and collect will be your evidence, but will that evidence be admissible in the court? Because here somebody has done a fraud, and here you need to prove that that same person has done the fraud, so that the authorities will make him guilty, and whether there will be a punishment. The punishment could be in the terms of fine, or it could be in terms of imprisonment. So it says, in any court proceedings, any evidence, please mark this can be a question. In any court proceedings, any evidence to be admissible in court of law has to be in compliance with the provision of dash act. So this could be a probable question. See, they will not ask you a direct question. They will frame a story. Mr. A is a chartered accountant, is a forensic accountant also. He went and collected some evidence, and he is confused that the evidence he collected will be admissible or not. You being a expert, please let him choose the correct option. It will be admissible as per Indian Evidence Act. It should not be admissible as per so and so act. It should be admissible as per Indian Transfer of Property Acts. Any other act they can mention. So you have to check Indian Evidence Act 1872. This law defines the nature of evidence, that is, it has to be relevant, and the manner in which the evidence is gathered for presenting in the court. Basically, the nature of the evidence, and that whether it's relevant or not, and whether it will be presentable in the court or not. It also gives various illustrations to clarify the provision should be studied very thoroughly. That act is not there in our syllabus. For CA final, it is not there in the syllabus, but you need to understand this, that whatever evidence guys you are collecting, it should be admissible in the court. It should be admissible in the court. It will be admissible in the court only if it is matching, only if it is as per the principles of the provisions of Indian Evidence Act 1872. Indian Evidence Act 1872. Then it is important for a forensic accountant to keep in mind that the FI engagement, forensic accounting investigation engagement, may arise either from the professionals appointed as per some specific law or regulation, that is by a court or by competent authority, which may provide both mandate and the process of conducting the engagement. That means if income tax people have appointed you, so they will give you full authority. You can check call records, you can check email, everything. Imagine some SEBI has appointed you, they will also give you full authority. Okay, but if the professional accountant is appointed by a client, like a company, okay, imagine HDFC Bank is appointed via contractual arrangement, which may be provide the mandate, but is subject to the provision of various law. That means if HDFC Bank appoints you, okay, Mr. A is doing a fraud, please find out. So you want to check the call records of Mr. A. So HDFC Bank will not give you that authority, that has to be given by Government of India. So the process can't be governed by HDFC Bank. But if the authority is income tax people, Government of India, SEBI, if they are appointing you, so obviously they will give the power with process also. But when it is a client and customer relationship, there would be process would be very difficult. The provisions of various laws and regulations and conducts the engagement within the framework of those laws and regulations. Okay. Then while dealing with laws and regulations in a forensic accounting investigation engagement, it is important to know that the professional has to not only look for legal and regulatory violation by the accused party, but also to conduct his work in line with the provision which dictate the manner in which such work has to be completed without compromising the authenticity and the reliability of the evidence matter. See, just you don't have to see the log of compliance. You have to check, we have to check whether the work is completed. That means you can't beat somebody, you can't arrest somebody. See, arresting power is not with you, it is with the court. So you need to go to the court, prove in the court that the person has committed a fraud. Then only the police will come and arrest it. You can't just snatch away. Okay, now if you want to ask some questions to somebody, okay, where were you? How did you log into your PC? Why did you log into the PC at night? Whatever question you want to ask. You can't slap him, you can't abuse him. Why? Because you have to do it without compromising the authenticity and the reliability of the evidence matter. Okay. Then it can be understood that many laws and regulations apply to FI engagement. What are the laws applicable? Lot of laws are applicable. First, direct impact laws. Like if SEBI ka fraud is done, so SEBI is applicable, Companies Act is applicable. Okay, it's called as direct impact laws. So this can be a question also. So please put a tick mark there. Despite all laws being an integral part of the engagement, certain laws are specifically applicable to FI engagement. These form an essential basis for the professional to conduct the engagement. So you can write here Companies Act, SEBI, Income Tax Act. As an example, there are certain statutes with the provision relating to white collar crime, corruption, money laundering, certain contract or company related laws, and specific provision concerning frauds and irregularities. The professional is not needed to be an expert. He should have what? He should have basic knowledge of these direct laws impacting to plan and conduct the engagement. See, now for example, I do not have an idea of income tax. It's okay. I should just have a basic knowledge, okay. So these are direct impact laws. Engagement specific laws. If a company was doing some import export, so I would need a knowledge of FEMA. I would need knowledge, guys, of FEMA. Correct? It's called engagement specific laws. If a banking company has appointed me, so I need to understand the banking ka law. If an insurance company has appointed me, I need to understand the insurance ka law. So example right here, for banks, Banking Regulation Act 1949. Okay, for banking regulation 1949. Read engagement specific laws. Read this. Read. Understood? Direct impact laws and engagement specific laws. Now, other acts ka knowledge also is required. Other acts also become relevant. Like for example, Indian Penal Code. The Indian Penal Code is the main and the earliest criminal law of the country, 1860. It includes all the criminal offences, including crimes related to property and theft, etc. Anyone found guilty of crime is punishable under IPC. Some of the sections are. So, direct impact laws, engagement specific laws, Indian Penal Code. Section 405 talks about criminal breach of trust. 420 talks about cheating and dishonesty, including delivery of property. 463 forgery, so you can remember this, forgery, important. And 464 making false document, maybe they can test. Then Indian Contract Act, okay, Indian Penal Code, Indian Contract Act 1872, this you must have done in your foundation level. Section 17 talks about fraud. In Hindi we say 17 pe khatra, 17 pe khatra, 17 pe khatra. 17 is in Hindi, fraud, 17 pe khatra, okay. 18 talks about misrepresentations, okay. Indian Evidence Act, right here important. So Indian Penal Code. After Indian Penal Code we say Indian Contract Act and Indian Evidence Act 1872. So it contains a set of rules and matters covering the admissibility of evidence in the court of law. The act is divided into 3 parts and 11 chapters, under 11 chapters and 3 parts. Then part 1, yeah. Part 1 talks about the relevancy of fact from the basis of evidence. Like chapter 1 talks about basic intro of Indian Evidence Act. Chapter 2 talks about relevancy of the facts. Part 2 talks about the proofs and the matters like oral versus documentary evidence. Facts which need not be proved, matter of oral evidence, documentary evidence. All those are in part 2. Part 3 talks about the production and effect of evidence. Deals with burden of proof. Who has to prove it? Deals with estoppel, witnesses, examination of witnesses, improper admission. That is in part 3. Part 1 intro, part 2 about documentary and oral evidence, part 3 talks about the burden of proof basically, witnesses and examination of witnesses. So whether an evidence is acceptable or not acceptable, that is unacceptable, will be determined as per Indian Evidence Act. So it's very important. Then Criminal Procedure Code, Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Next is Criminal Procedure Code 1973. So it is an important piece of legislation which needs to be understood so that the investigation can be concluded in a proper and compliant manner. So next act is Criminal Procedure Code. So they can ask us to identify, they will give you 4 acts. Identify out of this 4 which one is useful for forensic professional. So they will give 3 different acts, 1 from here, or 3 from here, 1 odd man out, which is not useful. So we need to remember, okay. So Indian Penal Code was there, Indian Contract Act was there, Indian Evidence Act was there, and Criminal Procedure Code was there, 1973. Okay? Then Prevention of Corruption Act, we call it the PCA. Prevention of Corruption Act was enacted to fight corruption and other malpractice in the government and public sector business in India, for government and public sector businesses. Okay. So it is basically an act for corrupt public servants. So these are the sections 7, 7A, 8, 9, 12. It covers offences related to public servant being bribed for bribery. 7, it talks about undue advantages to influence public servant by corrupt or illegal means. Okay, bribing of a public servant. Offences relating to bribing a public servant by commercial organization and punishment for abatement of offences. So Corruption Act is basically for public servants. Okay. Then Benami Property Act, this you must have studied in intermediate audit also. When I was teaching you audit, I have talked about BPTA, Benami Property Transaction, BTP also we call this as. So I have a lot of money, example, I don't have a lot of money. I bought one property in the name of my maid. Now I gave the money, but the property in the name of maid. It's Benami. So she is called as Benami Dan. Because she is not the actual owner. Actual owner, I am the owner. Okay, Benami Property Act 1988. Okay. So they have given some sections, section 3, 4, 5 about the act. Next act is talks about SEBI. So SEBI is basically to protect the interests of investors of the security and to protect the development and to regulate, okay, of the investors basically. For SEBI, for listed company, you can say. Money Laundering Act talks about, if we call it POMELA also, Money Laundering Act is there. Confiscation of property derived from money laundering. Hawala transaction, you must have heard about this, okay. If somebody needs 1 crore rupees in Bangalore, I will call my agent, he will give 1 crore rupees there in cash. I will give cash in Mumbai, somebody will give cash there. It is Hawala. There is no bank transaction. I have not sent the money. My agent has contact. He will give the money there. It is called Hawala. All this is illegal. I don't do all this. I am saying it is illegal. So Money Laundering Act knowledge also you must have. Then Companies Act 2013. Very important. You have studied this in law. You must have studied this in audit. So Companies Act, a lot of sections are there. Section 36, punishment for fraudulently inducing person to invest money. 210, investigation into affairs of company. You have studied Set A. I have taught you all this. SFIO, investigation by SFIO, 212, okay. So these are the sections of Companies Act. Then investigation into affairs of companies in other cases. This all we have done in Set A in law paper, okay. SPOM Set A. Class action suits, punishment for fraud, punishment for false statement, okay. Then If you know, if you remember this section, investigation into affairs of company is assigned to SFI, where the government is of the opinion that it is necessary to investigate into affairs of company on complaint by 4 people on receipt of the report of registrar or inspector or members passed by SR, public interest or request from CG or SG. This we have done in section number 212, investigation into affairs of company by SFIO. This we have done, if you remember it. Then Information Technology Act relevance is also there. So this legislation was enacted to provide legal recognition carried out by means of electronic data. Like online you are doing some fraud, so IT Act is also important. Section 4 talks about electronic records. Section 43 talks about penalty and compensation for damages to the computer. 43A for failure to protect data. You don't have to remember section numbers, okay? Just remember the Act name. 65 tampering with computer records. 66 computer related offences. And 66B punishment for dishonestly receiving stolen computer resource or communication devices. If somebody has stole a stolen device, so that's a punishment, IT Act. So total A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, F, G, H, I, J, 10 acts are there, 10 acts, okay. Let's quickly recall the name of the act. So they can ask us to identify odd man out or choose the right. Indian Penal Code is there, IPC, Indian Contract Act, Indian Evidence Act, then POCA, Prevention of Corruption Act was there, then Criminal Procedure Code was there, Companies Act was there, Benami Act was there, SEBI was there, Money Laundering Act was there, and then Information Technology Act was there. So these 10 acts ka knowledge a forensic professional should have mandatorily. Okay. Now foreign laws relevant in the area of frauds and foreign laws relevant in the areas of frauds and forensics. What are the different laws? Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. This you will do it in audit. We just have a reference in the actual audit paper. Previously, long back, we should have a proper act, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Now, instead of remove this, they have just given an overview of Oxley Act. Money Laundering Act was there in law long back, 2002. United States Organization Sentencing Guidelines, some guidelines are there, and United Kingdom Bribery Act. So this act are also relevant in India. So 4 are of US and 1 is of UK. Total 5 foreign acts are there. Okay. So Money Laundering Act is in India also. So whatever we studied here, this was India Act. This reference was India Act 2002. In US also it is in 2002 only. Okay. So Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, Sarbanes-Oxley Act, Money Laundering Act, and United States Organization Sentencing Guidelines. All these are US ka, and UK Bribery Act. It is of India. It's of UK. So these are 5 foreign ka, 10 India ka, 10 India ka, 5 foreign ka. This act we need to remember. They can ask us to find odd man out. See, initially like for 3-4 attempts paper would be very easy. They will ask you only from the module content. You just have to remember it. Understood? So this was our first class. Okay, class 1. I mean, I know the class was first class. I know that. Okay. So we will stop here. I hope you understood the content, how to study, what to study, how much to study. So like this we'll be doing it for all the chapters. Once the chapter gets over, we'll be writing important points in one paper. So those will be like 10-12 sheets. So before you appear for your exam or that MCQ based exam, you just recall that sheets and go and give your exam. We'll be doing it from the module only. Okay, and last we'll be writing notes because I have a very bad habit. There are a lot of MCQs also. We'll be solving MCQs also here. Okay. Now, so we stop here. So every lecture will be like 1.5 hour approx. I don't want to extend it beyond. Okay, and we'll be completing the syllabus. So 10 chapters are there, close to around 35 to 40 hours it will take, and the syllabus will get over. Okay, very easy. Okay, so stay connected, guys. You can connect with me on Instagram, Telegram. You can find the link in the description. Okay, you can connect with me so that if you have any doubt with regards to CA final, with regards to group 1, with regards to CA final audit paper, or about set A, B, C, D, whatever doubt you have, you can connect with me. Okay, see you in the next class. Very important line, aim for a rank or 70+, whichever is earlier. Bye guys, take care.